Hello, family, and happy Monday. So, let's talk about this sudden, miraculous, overnight fairy tale resurrection we're being force-fed by People magazine, because apparently we all hallucinated the last few years. According to People, Prince William and Kate Middleton are now more connected than ever after what they casually describe as a turbulent few years. Turbulent few years. I'm sorry, years? Plural? Casually dropped like it's bad Wi-Fi or a delayed train? Because last time I checked, we were told everything was perfect. Rock solid, stronger than ever, soulmates since university, the gold standard, the blueprint, the couple we're not supposed to question. Ever. So why are we now being told the marriage needed to be reconnected? Reconnected like Bluetooth? Reconnected like a couple that took a break? Reconnected like two people who are very much not together in the same way for a while? Let's not play dumb. The wording alone is doing all the talking. And then comes my favorite line, the one that made me laugh out loud. He treats her like his bride. Like, excuse me? She is his bride. She has been for over a decade. That's not romance. That's literally the minimum requirement of the contract. Congratulations, the bar is in hell and someone still tripped over it. This headline isn't reassurance, it's rehabilitation. Because here's the thing the palace-adjacent media never wants to admit. Rumors don't require this level of aggressive cleanup unless there was smoke. And honey, there was a whole forest fire. For years, people noticed things that didn't add up. Long stretches where they barely appeared together, solo engagements multiplying like rabbits, that stiff, painfully choreographed body language whenever they did show up together. You know the vibe. Two people walking side by side but emotionally in separate zip codes. No spontaneous touches, no natural laughter, no warmth. It was giving corporate merger, not marriage. And before anyone jumps in screaming, "You don't know them," relax. Nobody is claiming to know what goes on behind closed doors. But when public figures whose entire brand is family unity suddenly start moving like coworkers avoiding HR, people notice. And then came the rumor. Not from TikTok, not from fan fiction, not from random Twitter accounts. The Rose Hanbury rumors didn't start online, they circulated quietly among people who move in elite social circles. That matters, because gossip behaves differently when it's true-ish. False rumors tend to die. Untrue stories fade when there's nothing feeding them. These? They were aggressively smothered. Legal threats, media silence, a coordinated blackout so intense it made people ask even more questions. That's always the giveaway. If something is completely baseless, institutions usually laugh it off or ignore it. If something is inconveniently close to the truth, they panic. And suddenly, we're told nothing happened, there was never a problem, stop asking questions, look over here, cute family photos. But even during those family appearances, the tension was loud. Anyone who's ever watched two people who are emotionally disconnected try to pretend everything is fine recognized it instantly. The stiffness, the distance, the way they interacted like people who had very careful conversations beforehand about what not to do in public. And then health issues, prolonged absences, silence, confusion. Instead of clarity, we got more vagueness. Instead of transparency, we got carefully curated mystery. And now, magically, we're told the marriage is better than ever. Funny how that works. This is what institutions do when the narrative slips out of their control. They rewrite the ending and hope nobody remembers the middle. Let's talk about timing, because timing is the one thing PR can't lie about. This reconnected stronger than ever story drops after years of speculation, after visible distance, after public trust took a hit, after comparisons people really didn't want being made. Suddenly, we're meant to believe that what we were seeing with our own eyes wasn't real, that the awkwardness was imaginary, that the rumors were just haters being mean. But here's my hot take, and I'll stand 10 toes down on it. People who are genuinely solid don't need headlines announcing it. They don't need insider say. They don't need exclusives. They don't need emotional adjectives doing backflips to convince the audience. Happy couples just exist. They don't need to tell you they're happy. You can see it. What we're seeing now is not organic affection. It's stage-managed intimacy, the kind that shows up after a crisis, not before one. And let's not ignore how wildly different this coverage is compared to how other couples have been treated. When Meghan and Harry so much as breathed in the same direction, it was dissected, mocked, psychoanalyzed, and weaponized. Every smile was fake. Every touch was performative. Every interaction was calculated. But now we're being told to accept a whole marital reboot at face value. No questions allowed. Interesting. So were the separation rumors true? Here's the careful, responsible answer. We don't know every detail. We don't know timelines. We don't know conversations happened behind closed doors. But we do know this. You don't spend years denying something, suppressing discussion, and then suddenly launch a glossy, reconnected marriage narrative unless there was a fracture. You don't rehabilitate a story that never needed saving. This isn't about hating anyone. This isn't about wishing ill. This is about recognizing patterns. And the pattern here is classic. Trouble, silence, control, rebrand. It's PR 101. So when People magazine tells me he treats her like his bride, what I hear is, we need you to forget the years when he didn't. And I'm sorry, but memory still exists. The public didn't imagine the distance. The public didn't hallucinate the awkwardness. The public didn't invent the sudden need for reassurance. The story is being polished now because it got messy earlier. And no amount of beige blazers, countryside strolls, or carefully angled smiles is going to erase that. So, enjoy the fairy tale reboot if you want, but don't insult people's intelligence by pretending the cracks were never there. Because the loudest thing about this whole article isn't what it says, it's why it needed to be said at all. And that tells you everything. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more updates.